Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. Today is Friday, November 22nd. We got a pretty decent week of football to preview here. We are on week 12 of the NFL season. The playoff races are getting hot. They're heating up. And we've got a couple, in the early slate of games, we have some big spreads, whether that be Dolphins and the Patriots, Commanders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Panthers even, Lions. Who do the Lions play? Lions play the Colts. They're always big spreads regardless, but it's these late windows of games where we got some posturing matchups, I'll say. Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Packers, Chargers, Ravens on that Monday night, and I'm forgetting, Eagles and Rams. Lots of good matchups in that late slate, but a lot of good football to talk about in general. And I'm here to preview all of the games this week on top of giving you some NFL weekly update stuff. GM's been fired. Former player has just smoked his high school playoffs. That was phrased weird, but either way, good episode. Let's get into it. So we can start off with the NFL Weekly Update here. Start off with a little bit injury updates, as always. Alex Anzalone, broken arm. I said this in the recap, but he's out 6 to 8 weeks. And they signed someone who I'll talk about in a bit, but pretty decent replacement signing, especially this point at the season. Gabe Davis has a meniscus tear. That's fine. Jags don't need players on their team right now. They should forfeit the rest of the season, if we're being honest. Are they on bye? They're on bye this week. There's 6 teams on bye this week, and I'll make sure to talk about those in a bit. DJ Turner, the young Bengals corner, broken clavicle. It seems, I don't think that's been confirmed, but I think it's likely. So his year is done. That defense just continues to take hit after hit. And Jake Ferguson has a concussion. Again, don't know if he's back or where in the stages of concussion protocol he is. Couldn't really find that info, but he did get a concussion on that Monday Night Football game. That's kind of the injury stuff. And we can get into the actual news here, starting off with Joe Douglas, the Jets GM, has been fired. I think we all saw this coming. Fairly expected, given the way, Robert Saleh was fired, and they've been 1-5 since, and Joe Douglas is just the next domino to fall. Because, of course, you can't fire ownership in Woody Johnson, where I think that's where the real problems lie here. But Joe Douglas, I have been a Joe Douglas critiquer. I don't know. Haven't been a fan of Joe Douglas, especially in the last couple years. I think after that 2022 draft, I was like, Joe Douglas, not too bad. And then Aaron Rodgers happened, some questionable hires, but I think Joe Douglas, the talent evaluator, pretty good. Joe Douglas, the other 90% of the job, wasn't very good at it. And if you miss on the quarterback 3 separate times, and I can't really blame Sam Darnold on him, obviously, but you only get so many chances. He'll land on his feet somewhere, I'm sure. But the Jets, again, total dysfunction, very, very bad team, is what it is. But yeah, Joe Douglas has been let go. I have no idea who their interim is. Doesn't matter as long as Woody Johnson is the owner. He's very bad at what he does. He's a very bad owner, and it really just goes to show you how much owners can really fuck things up. Pretty simple. That might be a good off-season episode of just talking about the NFL owners in general, or at least like a little bit. Maybe have multi-things going on in the episode, but if you have a bad owner, that's the thing. There's like the meddling owners, and then there's the cheap owners. We got the cheap owners like the Browns with the Bengals, the Hunts with the Chiefs. Who else has like a family-owned? I'd say Mark Gruden, but he's a little bit different. Either way, there's the cheap owners who get involved and or who don't get involved, and you can't give out money and stuff. And then there's the owners that like to meddle, like Woody Johnson, like Jerry Jones, because it also came out that Woody Johnson had a serious after they lost to the Broncos to be like, I think we should bench Aaron Rodgers, and people on the coaching staff thought he was joking, obviously, especially at that point in the season. And no, he was fully serious. Like, let's start Tyrod Taylor, and I don't think Rodgers is going to get benched or cut, but well, he'll get cut in the offseason. Who are we kidding? Benched would be a whole other thing, but we can keep moving on. Joe Douglas, canned. He's gone. Connor Williams retires, the former Cowboys draft pick, then Dolphins center, now Seahawks center. Well, actually now retired, but Connor Williams had a pretty good career. He was a very good center for us last year. He still had some snap issues. He was a converted guard over to center, but he did pretty well. And then he's just kind of like, no, I'm hanging it up. I'm done. Just kind of out of the blue. Again, all the power to him if he wants to do that. It was a weird year for the Seahawks anyways. But yeah, Connor Williams officially done. It took him quite a while to get back from that knee injury that he did have. Came back from it. Was still playing like fairly well, like not great, but he's calling it a career, so congrats to Connor Williams. Very successful NFL career. There is a division Hard Knocks this year, in-season division Hard Knocks, and it's about the AFC North. They picked a great year to do it. I mean, we get to see the Ravens and the Steelers, like the cream of the crop of this division, battling it out. They still have one more matchup late in the season. But yeah, we get to see like the Lamar and the Derrick Henry background. We get to see how the Steelers dealt with the Fields to Russ transition and how that's looked since. I mean, the Bengals, we get to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have these absolutely spectacular years while the rest of the team is just ass. And then the Browns, who are just ass, and there's a bunch wrong with them, but I would love to see the change from the nasty man over to the less nastier man, Jameis Winston. Just to see, like, again, vibes and demeanor in the locker room. That'll be interesting. Again, they picked a great division to do it this year, so that'll be a lot of fun to watch. The NFL has sent out a security warning that apparently a South American crime syndicate has been targeting NFL players' homes in like a burglary ring. Players have, like Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce have already been robbed, so obviously they got to send out the bat signal when those guys have been affected, because I'm sure there's more than just those two. But yeah, weird story that's an actual real story. Tom Pelissero tweeted it out. Again, got to stop it with the but I don't know. Crazy that that's a thing that gets reported on by the NFL, but it is. So shout out to, why am I shouting anyone out? No. Bad South American crime syndicate. Fuck. The next note up here, Tyquan Thornton, the former Patriots second round pick, has been cut by the team. Patriots just can't draft wide receivers. We're even seeing it this year with Jalen Polk and Javon Baker not getting involved much at all. They're still young, but Tyquan Thornton was never him, was always drafted too early. He now lands with the Chiefs, who, hey, the Chiefs love their fast receivers, who are fast receivers. That's about it. Don't know how much he'll really latch on, but he's still in the NFL, so good for him. Other note here, and I touched on it a little bit, but with Alex Anzalone done for the rest of the regular season anyways, they brought in David Long, who had been cut by the Miami Dolphins a week prior, and I didn't actually talk about it because I forgot to talk about it. But yeah, David Long, the Miami Dolphins captain to start the year, cut by the team midseason. His stats and just performance in general just dropped off a cliff this year. He was spectacular for us last year. This year, absolutely brutal. He lost his job. I think a bit of a bad attitude. So Mike McDaniel was like, okay, you're done. We're cutting you. Like, that's that. Goes from what were we when he got cut? I think we were a 3-6 team when he got cut, and now he goes on a 9-1 team. That's pretty good. Obviously, the effort levels have to be there, but hey, when you're on a winning team, You give a little bit more effort. It is what it is. So decent landing spot for him. We'll see what he can do in Anzalone's absence. And last note up here, Teddy Bridgewater wins his first high school playoff game as a head coach, 69-0. This is a story I touched on early in the offseason, Teddy Bridgewater retiring and just wanting to be coach football at his high school, at his alma mater. And he's doing it, and he's doing a very good job. I don't know if he will want to get into the college ranks, like maybe after like a few seasons of doing the high school thing, but I don't know. I think this is just cool for Teddy to just give back to his community and just have, I don't know, just sick vibes coaching high school. It's like he made millions and millions of dollars, and he's just, yeah, I'm going to make my high school team fucking nasty. Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. One of my favorite, well, not favorite players, that's a long list, but I did really like Teddy Bridgewater. He was a very fun player, very nice guy by all accounts anyways. But we can get into, I guess first, the blind Thursday night football recap. After a couple of very good back-to-back Thursday night football games, we get thrown back into the slop with this one. A wet, cold, late November AFC North divisional matchup between the Steelers and the Browns. Wet, rainy, we saw it all. Not really. Wasn't a very exciting game. Who are we kidding? But the Browns were able to get Nick Chubb going a little bit. His best game back since his injury. 70 yards rushing and a touchdown for him in this one. Shout out to Nick Chubb. Jameis doing his normal Jameis things. Couple wow throws to Cedric Tillman and David Njoku. But couple turnovers, because that's what Jameis Winston does. Hey, no turnovers last week. He's due for a couple this week. Steelers on the other side, because of the weather, because they got Denzel Ward on the other side, Russ and George Pickens couldn't really get their connection going as they usually do, and they had to resort to other means. Darnell Washington, one of my favorite tight ends from last year's draft, scores a touchdown in this one, couple big catches, couple key blocks in the run game too, freeing up Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. But at the end of the day, just too sloppy, and the Browns were able to rally at home. Browns 20, Steelers 16. We'll see how this ends up, but I've been fairly hot in my blind Thursday Night Football recaps, but that is the blind Thursday Night Football recap. Let's get into the Week 12 preview here. I will look up, because I said I would, who the team's on bye this week. Yeah, 6 teams on bye, which I don't really get, because we got 6 teams on bye this week, no teams on bye next week, then 6 teams on bye the week after. Crazy. Fantasy football, especially heating up. There's a lot of good teams coming on bye weeks the next couple weeks, but we got the Falcons on bye, the Bills, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Saints, and the Jets. Don't have to talk about those teams, and honestly, pretty good that we don't have to talk about those teams. Well, at least a couple of them anyways, but starting off with the Buccaneers at the Giants, the number 18 Buccaneers versus the number 29 ranked Giants. Bucks -6, total set at 41.5. This is a total that seems a little weird to me. Like, the Bucks are getting Mike Evans back. The Bucks, even without any weapons at wide receiver, have still been playing very good offense. It's still the defense a little lackluster, but the offense has still been cooking. Now you add Mike Evans back into the mix. And especially because we got the Italian guy back, Tommy DeVito, the Giants starting quarterback for at least this game, because he's not good. Daniel Jones has been relegated to not backup quarterback, not third string, but to scout team safety in practice right now. That's right, they're $40 million scout team safety, Daniel Jones. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. I don't feel bad for him. He has been a starter for 6 seasons in this league and has done absolutely nothing. The Giants just have the worst QB room in football. I talked about it, maybe being the Broncos with Bo Nix, Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham. Bo Nix has, made me eat my own words. I am a Bo-lever now. But the Giants, like Daniel Jones, Drew Lock must be terrible to get Tommy DeVito to start over him. Then you got Tommy DeVito, who, fun story, but awful. And then Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle, who, again, I don't know how he's been in the NFL for as long as he has, but he's on the roster. He's going to dress over Daniel Jones this game. It's crazy. And I just, with all the dysfunction, there was players who even came out and said that, like, oh, they're not a fan of Daniel Jones getting benched. Like, they know that Daniel Jones is the best quarterback they had, and that's probably very valid. But the fact that there might be, like, a little, like, disgruntled, or there might be some disgruntled players in this game, I think the Bucs should kill them. Like, I think the Bucs, they got, like, the vibes, again, the vibes and the aura on the Bucs. I gotta stop using aura. I like vibes, though, but it's good. They've been playing good football, and they've been playing good football all season. I don't think that this Giants team that's a little dysfunctional with Tommy DeVito at quarterback is going to really give them a chance. Definitely like the Buccaneers in this one. Probably like them on the spread too, but we'll see. Next game up here, the number 1 ranked Lions versus the number 20 ranked Colts. Lions -7, total set of 49.5. This is another one where I look at these two teams and okay, the Colts played great last week. Anthony Richardson played great. The whole offense came together. Jonathan Taylor didn't look too great, but again, the passing offense and Anthony Richardson did what he needed to do. He played very good football, but that was against the Jets, one of the most dysfunctional teams in the league by a mile right now. And now they play the Lions, who the Lions just roll people, and they roll people every single time. Not every single time, but it's basically been every single time for almost 2 months now. And I don't think this is going to be any different. The Colts defense is just flat out not good. Simple as that. The Lions are going to score and score at will. And I don't really believe that the Colts offense and Anthony Richardson are going to have very good back-to-back performances again. And that's a mainly Anthony Richardson thing, because I will be betting against Anthony Richardson in this one. The Lions are just so much better. And this Lions defense is good. The players might not be the best or the flashiest names, but they are such a good unit. The secondary has gone better. That was kind of their weak point last year. I mean, everything was their weak point outside of Aiden Hutchinson. But Terrion Arnold has stopped with the holding, stopped with the penalties a little bit. He's kind of emerged as a pretty good corner anyways right now, but Brian Branch is the real star of that secondary. He will be flying around everywhere, and he will be a problem for Anthony Richardson. I don't know. I don't have to talk myself into this one. The Lions are going to win this one, and the Lions are going to win this one with ease. Next game up here, the number 23 ranked Titans versus the number 13 ranked Texans. Texans -7.5, total set of 40.5. This was a game where I was like, okay, I kind of like the Titans a little bit. I like the Titans' defense. The offense has been playing decent football anyways, and this Texans team has been very up and down. Again, they beat the lowly Cowboys, but they didn't look that great doing it. And what do the Titans do best? Stop the run game. I think they'll bottle up Joe Mixon just a little bit. But the big thing that I think I'm just going to avoid this game altogether is no L'Jarius Sneed for the Titans. Nico Collins should be fully back. I think we're going to see a big Nico Collins game. At least one big touchdown anyways. That's what I will be betting in this one, is for Nico Collins to score. But I don't expect this to be like a wow, the Texans are back type performance from them. I think this will just be a fine, very winnable game from them, and they will take care of business. Simple as that. Next game, the number 25 ranked Patriots versus the number 11th ranked Dolphins. Dolphins -7.5, total set of 46.5. Listen, another one of these games where we're going to win. I have complete and utter confidence we will handle the Patriots. The Patriots couldn't beat us when we had Tyler Huntley and we had a bunch of other injuries. They couldn't beat us then. They can't beat us now. Our offense, since Tua has been back, has been one of the best in the NFL. It's as simple as that. We're sustaining drives. The run game is going. Tua is finding whoever is open. It's just not oh, Tyreek is down there. Oh, Waddle is down there. We got more guys in the passing game, which confuses more defenses. And I'm not really worried about this Patriots defense anyways. They're a solid unit. Christian Barmore is back, and I'm very happy that he is because he's a great player. Happy he's back from his injury. And they got Gonzalez. They got a couple other players in there too, but those are the main two guys. And those two guys alone can't stop what we're doing. On the other side of the ball, our offense or our defense needs to play better as a unit. They've been playing pretty well so far, but they got a good opportunity. This offensive line for the Patriots absolutely stinks. It is Drake May on that offense and Drake May alone. And Drake May is playing some goddamn good football right now, but this is where our defense kind of gets together and it was like, okay, we can shut him down. We can stop any plays that, again, he'll take the underneath stuff and the screens, but we will be shutting down the rest of that. I don't think, Drake May is going to have his plays and have his wow moments where I'm going to be like, fuck, I can't believe I get to play against him for the next decade. But it won't matter because we're going to be up by 2 scores regardless. Dolphins win this one easy. Tua never lost to the Patriots. It's not starting now. We can leave it at that. Next game here, the number 30 ranked Cowboys against the number 14th ranked Commanders. Commanders minus 10, so total set at 45.5. The Dan Quinn revenge game, kinda, sorta. The Dorrance Armstrong revenge game. The Dante Fowler Jr. revenge game. The Tyler Biotish revenge game. Is there any other revenge games that I have in here? I think those are all the Cowboys players that followed Dan Quinn over, but the Noah Brown revenge game. I don't know. The Commanders are going to win. The Cowboys stink. I want to see Trey Lance play. Cooper Rush is a very capable backup, but you traded a 4th for Trey Lance. You might as well see what he can do, and he can maybe earn some money himself in the offseason. I do think this is going to be, again, the spread is huge. This is kind of, the Commanders' defense is going to play well, but I think that this Cowboys' defense is going to have an actual chance to tee off on the Commanders. Like, I don't think this is going to be a, what did I say that the total was here? Total 45.5, where I don't think the Cowboys are going to score. That's fine. But I don't think that the Commanders are also going to score a lot of points. I think that Micah Parsons going against that offensive line, he's Micah Parsons. He's going to have a very good day regardless. And then it's just kind of like, can you bottle up the run game, which they usually can't. So now that I'm saying that, I don't know where I'm really going, but I don't think this is going to be Terry McLaurin getting going again. Why am I talking myself into anything about the Cowboys? The Commanders are going to win. I'm not betting on the Cowboys. Not even the under in this one. But again, I'm following the trend of the Commanders' offense is going to take a bit of a dive. They're going to win in this one, but they are going to win this one running the football and running it very well. Next game up, the number 8 ranked Vikings against the number 22 ranked Bears. Vikings minus 3.5, total set at 39.5. This seems like an over game to me. The Bears' defense is still playing well, but not great anymore, I would say. And I don't know if last week was kind of like an indicator of maybe this Bears offense coming alive just a little bit, but if they can somehow deal with the Brian Flores blitzes, I think that this could be an over game. I'm not really sure where I land in this one. Again, betting on the dysfunctional Bears right now, I'm not about to do that. Betting over 39.5 points, maybe. Like, both teams got weapons. I think both teams' defenses are good, but susceptible to the right game plans. That's a big word for me, susceptible. Look at that. Oh, that's that 2 years at university kicking in. I don't know. This feels like an over game to me. The Vikings got the players on offense. The Bears got the players on offense. Shane Waldron is gone. Like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not touching either team in this one. I think the Vikings are going to win just because the Vikings aren't the dysfunctional team, but maybe over in this one. Next game up, and then the number 3 ranked Chiefs versus the number 28 ranked Panthers. Chiefs minus 10.5, total set of 42.5. I feel like I'm allowed to start that one with an because I don't really know where the Chiefs are going to win. Duh. I'm excited to see Panthers off the bye. Jonathan Brooks will be playing in this one. Everyone's fantasy hero that they've been waiting for finally shows up. Obviously, way too late at this point, but it is what it is. And the Panthers seem like they are investing themselves in becoming a run-first, pound-the-rock team. Chuba Hubbard, they paid him. He looks the part. Interested to see how they get Jonathan Brooks involved, and that's probably the only reason why I'll tune into this game a little bit, is to see how Jonathan Brooks gets involved, gets deployed a little bit here. Because if they can get a really good 1-2 rushing attack going and Bryce can just kind of pick his spots, that's an offense that works. It's an offense that works. The Chiefs, I'm sure, are a little pissed off about losing that Bills game. I'm sure that they'll be playing hard in this one. Part of me wants to consider the Panthers here. I think the Panthers are going to play them closer than expected in the first half. I might take Panthers, whatever their spread is, first half. Maybe. That might be a dumb bet. Either way, we can move on. The Chiefs are going to win. Simple as that. Next game here, the number 17th ranked Broncos versus the number 32 ranked Raiders. Broncos -6, total set of 41.5. The Broncos are the much better team. Crazy that I'm saying that, but they are. Their defense is really good. Zach Allen has been a stud. Nick Bonito is top 5 in the league in sacks right now. And I'm trying to remember who the other top 5 are off the top. I think it's Trey Hendrickson, Nick Bonito. This might not be in order. Dexter Lawrence is in there. It's because the top 5 are just guys. It's Trey Hendrickson, who's that's a name people should know. Dexter Lawrence, people should know, but he's a nose tackle. And then the other 3 guys are who? Really? These guys? I wish I could remember the other ones, and now I'm just going to go look it up because it is bugging me. Let's see. Sack leaders. Oh, yeah. Dante Fowler and Andrew Van Ginkel are the other 2. Which, Dante Fowler, former first-round pick, who, again, has been a middling player, is all of a sudden having the best year of his career, and Andrew Van Ginkel has really emerged. Andrew Van Ginkel for Pro Bowl. Don't you forget that. But, I don't know. The Broncos are a fun team. Fun team that I was wrong about. They're going to beat the Raiders. The Raiders stink. Watch out for Brock Bowers. Watch out for Max Crosby. That's your Raiders viewership notes for the week, as they always are. Next game up, big NFC West divisional matchup. The number 15 ranked Cardinals versus the number 16 ranked Seahawks. Seahawks -1. Total set at 47.5. Buy in on the Cardinals. Buy in on what they're doing on offense. Buy in on Jonathan Gannon getting this defense up to shape without really any real studs on it. I say that there's a lot of players who I do like on this defense. Budda Baker is obviously awesome. Garrett Williams out of Syracuse, one of their other, I don't know if they have him in the nickel or at safety, but he's been good. Max Melton out of Rutgers, their rookie. Kaiser White plays hard. They traded for Jonathan Cooper. He's pretty good. And I'm interested. I think Darius Robinson should be back in this one. If you don't know who Darius Robinson is, that is their first-round pick out of Missouri, who has been injured basically the entire year so far. I said a couple weeks ago that he just started practicing, and I think he's playing. Yeah, he's playing. So that'll be something to watch in this one, Darius Robinson, to see how he's deployed by Jonathan Gannon, because I do think Jonathan Gannon is a very good football coach, football mind. And the Seahawks will continue their bipolar up and down season where, again, they won last week, big division matchup, big win against Seattle. They are Seattle, what am I saying? Big win against San Francisco. But it just feels like a letdown spot, and it's not a letdown spot. I think the Cardinals are really good. Not really good, but I think the Cardinals are good, and I think that they are in the driver's seat. I think that their offense, Their offense is more sound than what Seattle does. I think it's as simple as that. Seattle makes a lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball, where I think Gannon's got his units playing a little tighter. So I am definitely in on the Cardinals in this one. Next game here. Yes, that is Lucy making a bunch of noise right now, but that's okay, because she's allowed to make as much noise as she wants because she's a cutie. Next game up, the number 10 ranked Niners. I don't like where I have the Niners ranked, by the way. I just don't know where else to put them because I think they're better than either way. I won't get into it. Number 10 ranked Niners versus the number 6 ranked Packers. Packers -2, total set of 47.5. It's snowing in Green Bay right now. Cameron sent that to be like, bet the under. Oh my God. The game's 4 days away. By then, it's going to be cloudy and +7. I think the snow will be gone by then, but who knows? This is a tough one for me. You have two teams that are just kind of hanging in the balance a little bit right now. The Packers are playing like pretty good football. They're winning games. And the Niners are also playing pretty good football, but they're losing games. It is kind of make or break for both teams at this point right now. I'd say this is a loser leaves town game. I think the loser of this game will not end up making the playoffs. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair because right now both teams I think are third in their division. The Niners might be last. No, the Niners can't be last. They might be last. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to bother checking. But the Packers, I know, are third in their division. And that wild card spot, that last wild card spot in the NFC is going to be very tough to get. Both teams can't afford a loss in this one. I'm excited. This should be a very good football game. Was this a playoff game last year? Might not have been a playoff game last year, but it's been a playoff game. The big Shanahan-LaFleur rivalry where the Packers would always blow it at some point in the end while Jimmy G throws for 80 yards in a game. But this is a good one. I'm not sure who I'm on. I'm going to avoid this one in general. We can keep going, though. Sunday Night Football, the number 7 ranked Eagles versus the number 12 ranked Rams. Eagles -2.5, total set of 48.5. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this one for a couple reasons. I am very interested to see what the Eagles secondary and how it holds up and how these young corners of Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean hold up against this Rams passing attack with Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Higbee, I guess, Colby Parkinson. I don't know. I'm just naming other guys at this point. But the Eagles have, in the span of a year, have reinvented their secondary. They invested heavily in the draft with Quinyon and Cooper DeJean, and it has paid off immensely. Darius Slay has stepped back a little and doesn't need to focus on the number ones or playing his best football like he is. Darius Slay is still a good football player. He's older now, but he is not the star in that secondary anymore. That's a huge win. They brought back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's just a playmaker at safety, bit of a nutcase, but you got to be when you play in the NFL, I think. And then Reed Blankenship, kind of their only bright spot from that secondary last year. He's still playing well. And that secondary that was one of the worst units in football last year is suddenly one of the better units in football. It's a lot of fun. Their defense is playing very well. The offense also continues to play very well. And this, again, and we want to talk about tests. We want to talk about this young secondary getting tested against the Rams' weapons. We can talk about this young Rams defensive line getting tested against one of the best offensive lines in football. That is a matchup, like, again, I do expect these young guys to get dominated just a little bit because, again, it's hard to not get dominated by Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and Lane Johnson. I forgot that Becton is playing guard for them now, and he's playing again. Want to talk about one of these like resurgent stories, having a great year? That's Mekhi Becton. He's playing absolutely great at guard, revived his career a lot. But those are kind of the two. Yeah, it's the young Eagles secondary going against the Rams passing attack, and then this young Rams defensive line going against the stout, elite Eagles offensive line, which I am excited about in this one. This should be a good matchup. I think the Eagles are going to come out on top. I just don't think that this Rams secondary really has any juice at the moment. and that's what will kind of be holding them back, and probably holding them back for the rest of the season, but should regardless be a very fun matchup. And then finally, Monday Night Football, the number 4 ranked Ravens against the number 9 ranked Chargers. Ravens -3, total set at 50.5. We want to talk about revenge games? Actually, no, this is the fucking Harbowl. What am I talking about, revenge games? This is the Harbowl, everybody. How could I almost forget that? Jim Harbaugh going against John Harbaugh. Former Super Bowl matchup at coaches anyways. And I mean, there are a lot of revenge games. We got J.K. Dobbins. We got Gus Edwards. Joe Ortiz was in the Ravens front office. Jesse Minter was on the Ravens. Actually, Jesse Minter was... I think Jesse Minter was on the Ravens staff at one point, but he was the Michigan DC, so I shouldn't be saying that. Who's their offensive coordinator? I keep wanting to say Greg Roman. Is it Greg Roman? Yeah, Greg Williams is Dr. Heat. Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator. This should be a good game for many reasons, just because the Chargers are, again, they're playing very, very good team football right now. But can this defense, who we saw when they play an elite offense like they have, like they did against the Bengals, they're a little susceptible. They're definitely not as good as their stats and what they've said throughout the season. Again, didn't let up 20 points all year. Then the Bengals come in, put 27 up with relative ease anyways. And the Ravens played like absolute shit last week. They played brutal. Everyone across the board was not on their A games. And I think that they're going to... I think they're going to kill the Chargers. I truly do think that they're going to kill the Chargers. Lamar's going to have a great game. Derrick Henry's going to have a great game. Zay Flowers is going to have a great game. One of the tight ends is going to have a great game. I don't give the Chargers much of a chance in this one. Because I don't. Again, the way that the Chargers are built right now, they are built by their defense playing very, very well. Stopping, again, defense playing very well, and then the offense managing the game. Because I said it in the group chat earlier today, but Justin Herbert right now, he is a great talent, but he's a game manager right now. He has the insane arm talent, and we know he can make the throws and the plays, but right now, they're not asking him to do that, and that's absolutely fine. But that type of football isn't built to beat someone like the Ravens consistently anyways. And like a game, I don't know, if these teams played 100 times, I think the Ravens probably win 70 of them. So, yeah, I'd say the Ravens have a 70% chance to win this one. But I am on the Ravens. I think Zay Flowers is going to have a good game too. Just take that for whatever it's worth. But, yeah, that is the Week 12 preview. Good episode. I made myself laugh a couple times, so if I made myself laugh, I'm sure whoever's listening, I made you laugh too. But, yeah, this is it. I don't know why I said this is it. This isn't it. This is my last week of Dolphins football before it should end very painfully Thanksgiving next Thursday. I don't know. I think the Dolphins, we have a good chance against the Packers. We do. We are built slightly differently. We're still a finesse bitch team, but we're a finesse bitch team who runs the ball really well and really effectively as long as no one gets hurt between now and Thursday. Next Thursday, I should say. But we should take care of business. Then we got the Packers. That's when the season starts. Simple as that. We'll see if I get my heart broken again. As always, if you've liked this, please like, share, retweet, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Tell all your friends. And until next time, peace.